My friend, today is one of those days that tugs at the heartstrings of every fan. The Chargers are experiencing a moment that could change the course of the season and perhaps even the recent history of the franchise. I know that you, as a fan of this team, have already cheered, suffered, and dreamed big. But what's happening now carries a different weight. Risky decisions, bold strategies, and behind-the-scenes moves that no one expected. And I'm going to reveal all of this to you now. But first, like and subscribe to the channel, because the information I have about the Chargers will surprise you in a way that you won't want to miss a second of the video. Chargers fans, pay close attention. Sunday is the day of a head-to-head matchup that could completely change the face of the season. Los Angeles Chargers versus Washington Commanders. It's no exaggeration to say that this game could be decisive for both franchises, and that's why every detail of what's happening behind the scenes matters so much. The Chargers arrive under pressure. The loss to the Giants left an open wound, not just because of the result, yes, but for the consequences that came with it. The offense lost its defensive backbone. All-pro left tackle Joe Alt is out with an ankle injury. The impact is enormous. Mekhi Becton, the option to hold down the line, is also doubtful, putting Justin Herbert at risk of facing a storm in the pocket. On the other side, there's good news. Derwin James, the defensive star, has been cleared by the medical department and will play. Meanwhile, the Commanders also face dilemmas. Rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels is expected to return after 2 weeks out with a knee injury, but he will be without his main weapon. Terry McLaurin, ruled out with a quadriceps injury. Noah Brown is also out, and this changes Washington's entire offensive scheme. However, the news that rekindled hope among fans in the capital was the return of Deebo Samuel to practice, which could bring more balance to the offense. On one hand, the Chargers must reinvent themselves without their main anchor on the offensive line. On the other, the Commanders are trying to survive without their strongest weapons. Dangerous. Whoever finds the quickest answers will have the advantage in this duel. And it is precisely at this point that the story becomes even more dramatic, because beyond Sunday's game, the Chargers are at a crossroads that could redefine the course of the season. An injury has opened the door for a rookie to shine, but it has also raised red flags in the front office. What if I told you that one of the NFL's most feared running backs could be on Los Angeles' radar? Stick with me, because the news only gets hotter. Since Najee Harris suffered the serious injury that sidelined him, the Los Angeles Chargers have needed to accelerate Omarion Hampton's development process. The rookie quickly showed that he wasn't just here to add to the roster. His explosiveness, strength, vision, and impressive tackle-breaking ability make Hampton a talent capable of carrying the offensive piano alone. But the Chargers know that putting a rookie in charge of the starting running back position is no easy task. The risk of physical and psychological burnout is real, especially considering that every snap, every block, and every run, Hampton now gains strategic weight. It was in this scenario that a rumor began to swirl behind the scenes. Alvin Kamara, one of the most lethal running backs of the last decade, was on Los Angeles' radar. Fans, just imagine, a player who since 2017 has never finished a season without surpassing 1,200 yards from scrimmage. An athlete capable of destroying defenses, both running the ground and catching passes. The prospect of having him alongside Justin Herbert is more than an upgrade. It would be a true offensive revolution. Imagine Herbert distributing passes to Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, and Ladd McConkey, while Hampton and Kamara take turns in the backfield, leaving the opposing defense with no time to breathe. It's pure dynamite, a multifaceted attack capable of challenging any defensive scheme in the NFL. Besides the impact on the field, Kamara's potential arrival would have a direct impact on roster management. Hampton could share responsibilities, gain physical and psychological strength, and extend his career, avoiding premature burnout that could limit his development. Fans, in turn, would have concrete reason to believe that the Chargers can finally assemble an elite offense capable of rivaling the league's best. Kamara would change the way defenses prepare, forcing defensive adjustments and creating more space for Herbert to operate freely. The Saints, his current team, don't appear to be strong title contenders and may consider a trade in search of draft capital. The Chargers, however, pressured by injuries and the need to bolster Herbert's arsenal, present themselves as the perfect destination. The negotiating window closes on November 5th, and until then, much can still unfold: negotiations, tactical adjustments, and decisions that could define the season. Despite this, nothing can dim Hampton's shine. The rookie continues to show personality, talent, and an ability to defy expectations. But the movement around Kamara makes it clear that the franchise is alert, willing to move quickly, and doesn't want to waste the opportunity to build an explosive backfield. And while there's a possibility of a significant reinforcement on offense, on defense, and especially in Herbert's protection, the dilemma remains. Who will hold the fort with Joe Alt out? We'll detail the arrival of veterans like Michael Dunn and Bobby Hart and discuss whether they can keep the Chargers competitive until the starter returns. Topic 3. If losing to the Giants was already painful, Joe Alt's injury has raised the Chargers' alert level to another level. It's not just an absence. We're talking about an all-pro caliber left tackle, a player who protects the quarterback on the most critical plays, provides stability to the offense, and directly influences the pace of the game. Replacing Alt isn't just difficult, it's practically impossible. It's like trying to fill a gigantic space in a puzzle with pieces that, while compatible, have never fit together before. Aware of this, the front office acted quickly and brought in 2 veterans to bolster the offensive line, Michael Dunn and Bobby Hart. Dunn has a history of overcoming challenges that inspires confidence. After bouncing around practice squads and struggling to establish himself in the NFL, he found his niche with the Browns, where he excelled in special offensive line packages. His versatility is a valuable asset. Dunn can play multiple positions on the line, allowing the Chargers to adjust Herbert's protection according to the game situation. Bobby Hart, meanwhile, with stints with the Giants and Bengals, has made over 20 starts. Even without playing an NFL game since 2022, Hart arrives with experience, leadership, and the ability to mentor younger players, essential in times of crisis like this. But let's be realistic. Even with these additions, replacing Joe Alt is virtually impossible. What the Chargers can do is minimize the damage, create alternatives, and maintain stability until their starter recovers. He's expected to return in 3 to 4 weeks. Until then, collective effort will be crucial. Every block, every line adjustment, and every quick decision Herbert makes in the pocket will count. It's a test of endurance and intelligence for the entire team. The psychological impact cannot be underestimated either. For a team already plagued by injuries in recent seasons, seeing its star player out revives old ghosts and puts additional pressure on every department. But there are positive signs. The additions of Dunn and Hart show that the franchise isn't sitting idly by, that there's planning and a willingness to fight, even if the solutions aren't perfect. Between transfer market rumors, young talent like Hampton showing his skills, and veterans trying to keep things in order, every decision the Chargers make right now carries enormous strategic weight. The game against the Commanders will be the initial barometer to assess whether the adjustments made so far will work in practice. And so, Chargers fans, after everything we've shown today, it's clear this season is far from predictable. Between injuries, young talent exploding, rumors of rising stars, and veterans holding the line, every game is a battle, and every decision can change the team's course. Sunday against the Commanders will be just the beginning of a decisive run, and you won't want to miss a single moment. So, if you want to stay up to date with everything involving the Los Angeles Chargers, don't waste time. Subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all the updates firsthand. Here you'll find exclusive news, behind-the-scenes analysis, and analysis that no one else brings. True fans don't miss out on this. Come with us and be part of Bolts Nation.